Shalom and welcome to 2 Minutes of Torah. This year is entitled the Halachot of Separating Beds when a woman is a Niddah. So from the Torah law, of course, a woman is a Niddah, the couple have to be totally separated, and Isser Tashmish to be together, and Chibuk V'Nishuk, kissing, hugging also. Many say it's Isser from the Torah as well. In addition to that, there are many harchakot, separations, that the rabbis made, so that they can make sure that nothing happens during this time where the relationship between the two of them should be one of mutual love, respect, with a lot of good, healthy communication through talking, other nice things, but not the physical connection. That should wait till the right time. So one of the hachakot, the separations, is the sleeping in the same bed. The Gemara in Shabbat talks about the prohibition to sleep in the same bed. There's discussion on the poskim. What if it's a very, very large bed? Is it enough that they're in the same bed, but they're so far apart? While there is a discussion on the poskim, that way the Shulchan Aruch in Yoredeh Kuf Tzadi Heis, if Vav, he paskins that no, one bed is not allowed. Can't be in the same mattress. They have to be in two separate beds. And that, of course, is the accepted practice. The Ramah on the same spot in the Shulchan Aruch Kuf Tzadi Hei Sivav writes, and they cannot only be not in the same mattress, they have to be on separate mattresses, and also cannot touch each other. Two mattresses must be separated from each other. And he doesn't say how far. So the most posts can understand to mean the Pitchei Tshuva on the spot says what it means is, and any separation is fine. You'll see in many houses separation is much more than just a drop. So that's because the Achronim introduced other shiurim, amounts of how far the bed should be separated. You have from those who maintain that it should be enough that the quilts won't touch each other, so it'd be a little bit further apart. Some say it should be enough that they can't touch each other, arm to arm. Some say it's enough that someone can walk in between the two. So there's variations of opinions. Some have the minute to put a night table in between to have more separation. This is all opinions amongst the Achronim, the more recent authorities from the last few hundred years, post Shulchan Aruch. Of course, in this specific question of how far to separate, everyone should talk to his or her Rav about that question. In Israel, apartments are pretty small. The rooms are pretty small. So sometimes you may want to be machmir, but it's important to know the din is that, according to the Ramah, that there's any separation. Sometimes there's not much more room than to have that minimal separation. As I said, each one should talk it over the posek. What about a common case of a headboard? A headboard, let's say a headboard's attached. But the headboard's attached in a way which does unify the beds, but the mattresses are separated. Okay, the two beds are separated by whatever the amount that we just learned in the previous point, whatever amount it is, whether it's enough that the quilts don't touch each other. The person is going by that opinion. And the beds are separated like that, but they are physically attached to the bedboard. So the Shevet HaLevi, in the Shurei Shevet HaLevi commentary on Kuf Tzadi Vav in the Shulchan Aruch actually says, technically speaking, the Ramah's demand is that the beds are separated, and they're separated. The fact that they are physically attached to the bedboard, the headboard, that does not make it into one bed. Maybe one structure, but it fulfills the requirement of two separate beds. He does say it might be better to go ahead and separate the bed, one of the beds from the bedboard, so even if the bedboard's still there, and both beds are leaning near the bedboard against it, it's best that it's not attached, but it's not us according to Shevet HaLevi. So there are different opinions regarding that. There are those who say that if the beds are not next to each other, they're just like, say, the head is to the head, or it's like a race, there may be a little bit more room for leniency, because some of the stringencies of separating is when the two beds are facing each other, then it's easier to put your hands out and stuff like that. So if there is such a case like that, where it's like a resh, an L, so a person can talk to a person about that case. But basically the overview is that this cannot be in the same mattress. It be two separate mattresses. According to Shulchan Aruch, the Ramah says two separate mattresses don't touch each other. Different opinions of what that means, not touching each other. And then we saw the Shevet HaLevi, who says that if the bedboard is attached to the bed, technically it's fine, but he advises against it. And regarding the details, of course, halacha l'maaseh, everyone should talk to their posek. Shalom.